Everyone, welcome. Happy Monday. How is everybody? Sorry. Okay, so the other way came on tonight. Hope you guys tuned in. There was no Holly and Wayne this week, which we're totally fine with, right? There was no Holly and Wayne. There was no Kenny and Armando, but we got everybody else. And this was the famous Santa Claus and Elf scene that everybody has been seeing on the previews. The beginning of the end for Johan and Danielle. So we're gonna get into that. Waiting on the girls to join. Dee Dee's here. Where's Kara? So they really cashed in this season because they get paid per episode. So we're looking at probably 23, 24 episodes. So the money is definitely in it for this season.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm
I'm
good. How are
good.
you?
I'm good. So I know news that came out today. I don't know if you heard. Darcy and Georgie got married on 11/11. Are you surprised?
No, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, I was seeing that
How do
today.
you feel?
I got on it a little bit. I'm happy for them. I mean, if they're happy, I'm happy for them.
From what I heard, they got married. It was small. It wasn't a big ceremony, and it wasn't filmed. So it makes me think that they really are happy, right? Because if it
Hi.
was filmed, that's one thing. Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. Hey, how are you guys?
I'm good.
Doing good.
So before we jump in, Darcy and Georgie, the news got released by I think Mac and Cheese May that Darcy and Georgie got married on 11/11. I just wanted to get your reaction. Are you surprised? Are you not surprised?
I'm not.
And it wasn't filmed.
I saw it coming all along.
I did see a post from Darcy.
It was filmed. There's no way it wasn't filmed.
I heard it wasn't. I asked around too. I asked around.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. People
As
can
long
lie.
as long as they're happy, like in all honesty, I mean, Darcy deserves it. You know what I'm saying? She's a handful. She's a handful. She is way out there, but
Darcy and Georgie from the get-go.
But she has her heart on her shoulder. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. If he makes her happy, then I'm happy for him.
Yep.
I want her to be happy too, and I know it was hard for Darcy when Stacy got married on 11/11, and she wasn't a part of it. So I want her to be happy. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think Georgie's the right guy to make her happy, but that's not for me to decide, right? Like that's not for me to decide at all.
As long as he makes her happy.
Right. That's not for me to decide at all. If that's where she landed, if that's the guy, then I'm happy for both parties, right? Like I'm happy, but
Georgie's way better than that other douche canoe that she was dating for a second.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Georgie's hands down, he's the best one that she dated that we know of.
Yeah.
She's dated. Hands down.
So episode 19 of The Other Way was tonight.
Episode 193.
I feel like it's slow. It's so slow moving at this point. Like we're not even getting anywhere. Because I was like, oh, maybe next week it's over. No, we're not even close. We still haven't seen the full elf breakup scene. Like that's how slow moving it is.
They're gonna keep dragging that freaking.
Also, I'm so sad because she did another live today and I fell victim to watching it. And she did say on the live, and she saved it so you can go see it, but she did say there is something else being filmed with her and Johan.
You lying. Shut up.
It's on her IG. You can watch it. She even said, I don't usually save my lives, but I feel like this one was worth saving, blah, 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 blah.
What could they possibly be
It's just like with Gino and Jasmine. Are we not gonna get rid of these folks like Liz and Big Ed and like
I can't remember
I
can't remember
Nicole
what she said. I can't remember verbatim what she said, but she said something to the effect of I I still can't say much because there's stuff being filmed or something like that. And I was just like, I just closed out of the live right there.
So,
like,
I know when people are exiting the shows, they film 90 Day Diaries, and it kind of tells you like where their path is outside of the relationship. So I'm hoping they're filming separate 90 Day Diaries.
That her path is somewhere far, far away.
She's back here, right? She's back in the U.S., right?
She's in Florida.
Was on a live with Jamie the other day, the day before yesterday, and she said she was in Florida.
Oh, she's in Florida.
Yep.
It was the other day. Yeah.
Yeah,
she's in Florida.
Somebody, you know what?
She might be knocking on your door, George.
Somebody told me she was here because her grandmother lives here or something, and she was staying with her grandma. I did hear that rumor. All rumors, but I did hear that she was here staying with her grandma, because I'm assuming that, you know, with the amount of money she owes people, it's not going to be super easy for her to go back to New York City, right?
Oh, the whole thing, but it sounds like her grandma might have passed, and that's why she's here.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I don't know
my condolences.
Sure. I don't know that for sure, but on her live, she said something on a past live. She said something having to be at her grandmother's house to take care of whatever. Whatever.
I see.
So,
that's unfortunate. I'm sorry. I don't like to mix, you know, my personal feelings of like people's actions and their relationships with their actual struggles and things that they're going through, like loss. So I didn't know that. I take back anything I said.
Sure, maybe I read that wrong, but that's kind of what I took.
It could be. I just heard stuff. I haven't seen anything. I knew she was here for her birthday, but somebody told me before she was here for her birthday, she was here with her for something that had to do with her grandmother. So you could be 100% right on that. So,
she didn't say anything the other day on the live with Jamie, but she did say she's in Florida though.
Interesting. So I want to talk about Kimberly and TJ, because Kimberly said something that actually I agreed with. She said that she was disappointed in TJ for withholding information about what was expected from her, like her expectations of being a part of his family until after they got married. And I was like, I don't always agree. Well, I don't ever agree with anything that Kimberly says, but I do feel like, Kelly says, yeah, it is for her grandmother. So our condolences to Danielle in her time right now. But I feel like it's important to always be fully open and transparent. And the way TJ was like, oh, well, I'm just going to let my mom explain it to her after the fact. And the way that she reacted was very normal for me. I mean, for her, I assume the way she reacted to like sweeping, cooking, doing dishes, I was like, this woman has probably never done a dish in her life, right? Like, I feel like chores and things like that aren't something that she's accustomed to. So hitting her with, oh, you're in charge of cooking and cleaning and sweeping and getting up. And then the mom was like, well, not too early, just 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, really early, you know, to get up to take care of other people. That's really early. And I think he should have been more mindful of who she is as a person than to just say, oh, well, you're going to marry me, so you're just going to transform into this person for me. Yeah. I don't think she's fully capable of doing that.
I agreed with Kimberly for the first time ever in like
right?
3 different times with him not being honest, with burning the shit in the kitchen, and then with wiping the towel or wiping the table and then wiping the wok. That was the only time I ever agreed with her, but she was pretty spot on.
I'm sorry,
but
I think it's funny. I'm sorry, but I think it's funny. She deserves everything they did to her.
No, don't get me wrong. I think it's hilarious. I would have burned shit on her if I had my way. But I did agree with her that was gross.
That was her karma, biting her in the tail. So,
well, yeah,
just saying.
I do believe in karma, and I do feel like the way that she treated his family when she got there, they enjoyed doing this. Because I was like, I know this is tradition. Like, I know this is culture and tradition, but I was like, I feel like the mom was enjoying this because she knew it was pissing her off and making her upset. I was like, this is karma. You get to go back and remember how she acted when she arrived and how she treated y'all. And now you get to literally walk around her house with shit. and burn and blow it up. I was like, this isn't what karma is.
Putting it in the
Right.
door.
If this isn't karma, I don't even know what karma is. This is the definition of karma, because I was like, this is exactly what she deserves because of what she did to these people, how she treated them. She made it seem like their culture was irrelevant. Yep. She didn't care about it. So they're walking around her house literally pouring piss on the floor. I was like, this is exactly what karma is and a full circle means. But I did agree with her, like, they need to be open and tell her what's going on. Like, if you're going to be, like, pouring shit all over where I live.
No, they don't. No, they don't, because she walked up in their house. She disrespected them from the time she landed in India. She has done nothing but cause problems, drama, and like she has disrespected them. They don't need to tell her nothing. 100%. And if you remember, TJ said in one of the confessions that he was not going to say anything to Kimberly until after they were married, because then she wouldn't have a choice but to do it.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah,
I think it's funny.
It's funny, but it's like
she deserves it, George. She deserves it.
It's not cool. It's not cool. Like,
cool, and it's funny.
It wasn't cool for her to go in there and be a shit right from the get-go. That was.
You're right. You're right.
Carmen, she's a bitch.
No, she is. She is. She's evil. She's mean, and everything bothers her. And I get it. Being in a new environment, like if y'all were to take me camping, I would be Kimberly. Like everything would be so irritating for me. Like, I'd be soapy. I'd be like, y'all want me to use the bathroom outside? Like, I'm not used to doing that. Like, it would be a lot.
Tell you ahead of time. We tell you ahead of time. We're frog legs, and you got to pee outside. But we would never just don't pee on you because you don't have karma.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't go.
And then we'll just laugh at you because you're overreacting. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna overreact. I'm gonna overreact. If I even think I hear a stick crack in the woods, I am running to the nearest vehicle that can remove me from the woods. Like, I am going to overreact. Like, trust me, I am not getting eaten alive by something. It's not going to happen. So this apartment that they're building together, she says that TJ doesn't spend a lot of time with her in the apartment. Can you blame him?
No.
Right. I was like, can you blame him though? Because when she arrived and he's like, let me show you the apartment, she like made it seem like it was such a piece of garbage. I was like, I get why he wants to be around his family and not spend extra time with her, because who wants to spend extra time with her? Like, she's really, really annoying.
Yeah.
And I hate to be mean, but she makes like every ounce of their relationship and things going around them unbearable. Like, she really has to make everything insufferable. I think that's the best way to put it. Like, everything is insufferable. Even I get being inconvenienced or being uncomfortable as part of their culture, but she could have also done some research. Google exists. Yeah. If she wanted to know some of the Indian cultures and things that were going to happen during, before, and after her wedding, she could have also looked it up herself. Yeah. She doesn't need to be educated by his family. This is their culture. You're the outsider. You should be the one looking to learn more about their culture if you're interested in joining it. But she's not. She's not interested in joining it. She just wants to live in their house and do whatever the hell she wants while living in their house. And I feel like that's where the disconnect is going to go. And we know this is all going to fall apart somewhere. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen and when, because we only have like 3 or 4 episodes left, right? So at some point, they're... Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully this is over before Christmas, please. Please and thanks. You know, like it's been like 4 months. We were not
top of my wish list that I just really need this season to end.
Yeah.
I'd give anything for.
We need to move on to something else.
So Brandon and Mary had a fight. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
And this fight was about money. Big surprise.
Surprise.
And the funny part is his mom is actually being extremely helpful again for the 2nd week in a row. Like, she's there to be like someone that Mary can talk to. This is not what I expected. When I expected,
I wonder how much money they had to. I wonder how much money they had to pay her to be nice to Mary.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she got paid at all, because I think that she violated her NDA. So I think she was under the impression she was going to get paid. Oh yeah, we talk about the family Chantel, but we're going to do it tomorrow night. Because after it went off tonight, if we did both shows, we would be up really late, and we don't want to keep everybody up too late. So we're going to discuss the family Chantel. I actually haven't watched it yet. We're going to discuss the family Chantel episode tomorrow night. But this,
awesome.
Did you watch it?
Most of it. I still got
I haven't.
Probably 15 minutes left.
I watched it.
Oh, okay. Did you see Scott?
Yes.
I'm not saying anything. Y'all have to watch it and find out the truth.
I'm not going to say anything else. Nothing else. No spoilers. Okay, so this situation with Mary and Brandon, she's sick of him not contributing or being a part of the relationship. But I think at his age, he's kind of looking at it as, I'm in the Philippines, I'm not allowed to work. The only thing I'm really able to do is play video games. But there's many, many things that you can do to help be a team player in your relationship. You don't have to be working a job. You can help clean. You can help cook. They have a store. He could help stock the store. There's many, many things that you could do to help be productive other than bring home an actual paycheck. Because let's be realistic, right? Like 200, 300 years ago, women were not allowed to work, but women ran entire households and raised entire villages on their own. They didn't get paid, but they were doing the bulk of the work for the whole society, right? So Brandon can put the controller down and he can actually help do something. And I think she's worried when the baby comes, it's going to be the same shit. And I think that that's a pretty valid worry, because let's be honest, she's not looking to get a job. He's not looking to get a job. Neither one of them have any type of plan for the future. So if both of them are going to be playing tag direct with responsibilities, you know, I would be worried about my future, because it's scary when neither one of you want to contribute to providing for the families. Like it works well when both people want to help, but one person has to want to provide. Otherwise, you're going to end up.
You can't just have one person selling stolen cell phones. You have to have two people.
Well, yeah, you got to work together as a team, right? It's Bonnie and Clyde, right? Isn't that how you got to be a team in this? It doesn't matter what you're doing. And even if he's not making any money, he can help clean the house and cook and do dishes so she could work extra hours in the store. You know, like there's more that he could.
Did you guys watch the TikTok I sent you with them?
No, where did you send it?
The one that you sent. Yeah. And I've seen it a couple of times already. So
where they're fighting and he's literally yelling at her and she's crying.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
He probably found out that the baby belongs to Puddingtane.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I saw the TikTok. I did see it. I think it's so childish too. Like if you guys are fighting, and I'll ask you about this too. So the new trend lately in this day and age is you're fighting with someone, so you pull out your phone and you start recording them while they're yelling at you. Like that's what people do in relationships.
I cannot record while I'm punching people in the face. It would never be.
This is like a weird trend, right, Didi? Like, why are people? Because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get along and you're gonna forgive each other. So why do you go on live or you go online and post a video of them acting a fool so everybody condemns your relationship? Like, why do people do these things?
Some people starve or crave for that type of attention, and then once they get all that attention, then that's whenever they can play the victim. That 99% of the time, they're not even the victim. They're the one that started the whole fight.
Yeah.
But because the other one is reacting to what they started, you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're 100% right. Because I always wonder when the video starts and you see someone acting completely out of pocket, the first question I always ask is, well, what happened before the video started? Because this isn't a normal reaction for someone. So what did you do or say to put them in this state?
Yep.
And I think she started recording, but she looked calm. She was crying and everything, but we don't know what she said to put him to that point where he's screaming and yelling and throwing stuff. Like, and I always feel like these videos, they never tell you the full story. You see somebody in the airport screaming, okay, they're crazy, but what happened right before that? Before the video started, because everyone isn't crazy. We're not a society of just complete whack jobs.
Yeah.
Most people hold it together most of the time. So like, but when people start recording, the biggest part of that situation has already happened. So we don't know
Mm-hmm.
what put them into this chaotic state. So I
No,
kind of hate to just...
there's no telling.
She was calm on the video, but she was probably poking the bear and starting the shit, and then got him all riled up and then hit record so she could be the calm one and make herself look like poor me, poor me.
Exactly. I feel like that's exactly what happened, because that's how she used to do him on the phone.
Yeah.
She would be, you can't work here, you can do, don't talk to girls. And then when anyone is around to see her on the phone, she's just quiet. She's being polite, and no one was falling for that crap, especially Brandon's mom.
Always crying.
Right. Well, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking anyone for crying. I feel like crying is a healthy thing, but when you cry to get your way, that's my issue. Like
all the time, though. There's nothing wrong with crying to show your emotions, but there is something wrong with crying every time the wind blows. Like,
or every time someone calls you out for something you did, you cry. Yeah. That's manipulative. Instead of just saying, okay, you're right, I apologize, you cry and you're the victim. And then for some reason, she manages to pull an apology out of him after she did something wrong. And it's like, that's so toxic. And I think his mom is right. This whole marriage, this whole relationship, everything about this is just toxic.
Yep.
It's toxic. Anybody from the outside looking in can tell that this is a horrific situation to bring a child into.
Is anybody else super excited to see the wedding next week with all the bugs?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's their karma.
I thought, if this is a sign, you know how you pray, you're like, God, just give me a sign that I'm doing the right thing. If this is not a sign literally from heaven saying, I don't approve of this. Yeah. I don't approve of, I don't know what else is. This is literally the most blatant sign. You know what? The last sign I saw, I was watching 90 Day Fiance, the UK, and Alejandro and Katie were getting married, and it was a beautiful day, and all of a sudden there was this horrible monsoon rainstorm, and the tent started blowing away, food started blowing over, and I was like, if this isn't a sign, and look where they are now. Yep. She's pregnant with his baby, and he told her to, get rid of it. That's literally where they ended up. And I was like, if this isn't a sign telling them, do not. Oh yeah, we watched the 90 Day UK one, of course, absolutely. We didn't do a podcast on it, but I recorded it. I mean, I watched it. We didn't do
Discovery. It's on Discovery and it's on Discovery and it's on Follow.
Yeah, and it's on Max.
Oh,
yeah, you got it
on Max. Okay, it's
really good. But I think next week, if we know they did because his mom spilled the guts, but I feel like if that was my wedding day, I wouldn't go through with it because I believe in signs and symbolism. I grew up in a religious cult, so I do believe, that there are signs, there are things, the higher powers try to give you information. That was the biggest sign. I mean, it was so blatant. You could be blind and deaf, and you could recognize that sign. That sign was just like, don't marry. It's not going to work out. So we know.
There's a piece of me that hopes it's bees.
Bees?
Yeah.
I don't think
that would be awesome.
Bees.
That would be awesome.
It reminded me, I don't know how much of like the Bible everybody's familiar with, the plagues. You guys remember the plagues? It reminded me of the plagues, and I was like, oh my gosh, them getting married is like such an abomination. There's like plagues. I was like, that's how angry they're making heaven. They're like sending plagues down here to stop it. I was like, that's how serious this really is. Because I was like, really? Are they really pissing off God to the point where he's sending down bees and mosquitoes and locusts? I was like, is it that serious? But I was like, it kind of is. It kind of is, because this is horrible. Everybody at home feels the same way. Don't get married, please. Literally do anything but that. Yep. Right? Like literally anything. And they claimed they were going to go to therapy, but they're supposed to get married the next day. I didn't see no therapy. Did you see any therapy? No, I didn't see no therapy. I knew they weren't going to do it.
But his mom did ask, can you imagine raising... So she was trying to say, can you imagine your life without Brandon? That's a logical question.
Yeah.
But the registration on her face was, can you imagine raising this baby without Brandon? And she paused and was like, Jello pudding pop is gonna, he'll be here. It's fine. So she's like, no. So she just told the mom what she wanted to hear.
Well, yeah, I mean, and let's be honest, raising the baby with or without Brandon isn't really going to be a big difference. Brandon's not going to work. Like, let's just be realistic, right? Like, he's not going to work, and if he does, he's not going to work very hard. Like, I feel like because his whole life he's not worked super hard. He works as little as he can, and he's not a working person. Even his mom said it's been since he was a child. He's more interested in video games. He's more interested in things that don't pay you anything.
Yeah.
So if he was there or not, there's no financial gain in it for her. And I think for her, having help is more of a financial thing than the physical thing.
Sure.
I think that for her, financially is where she wants to be ahead. Because, you know, you can have anybody help you do the dishes and anybody help you change the diaper. You know, having that financial help is what's going to make a difference for her, because she's not trying to work. You know, like, she's not trying to work. Let's just be honest. There's many things she wants to do, and it's not working. So,
but she did comment that he's upset with her because she's bad at budgeting. So that just means she's spending what they get.
Well, what are they getting? Because that was my question too. Like, is it all from the
18 cents per stolen cell phone?
Oh yeah, the phones. Because I was thinking of the store, and I remember it was like $2 or $3 a month. Because I was like, how do you budget?
Do they even have the store still? I mean, they haven't even shown it anymore.
We haven't seen them working.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't been talking about it. It might be like Johan's Butcher Shop here today, gone tomorrow. You know, like, it was there, and then, but they were already like $2,000 in debt, right? Because didn't she borrow like a couple of grand from her friends to build it? Because they literally constructed it, right? So I don't know. Yeah, like you said, maybe she borrowed it. Maybe it was extra money from when Brandon built them that house, and she just didn't. She kept it somewhere. Like, I don't know. There's so much to this. Oh, well, this person says, do they get maternity leave pay in the Philippines? I don't know. She doesn't have a job, though. I think you have a job to get maternity leave pay. But I don't know. That's a good question. I would say no, because they don't have like the health benefits and the, like, what's the word? Benefits where you don't make a lot of money. What do you call that? Welfare. They don't have like that type of welfare. Like, they have it, but I think it's much more difficult to get or qualify for than it is in the U.S.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's easy to qualify for it here. I don't know that. But I feel like over there, the funding is much less. So there's not enough money to go around. So I feel like
And then thanks to Brandon's mom, they didn't get paid for filming on the show.
Yeah.
They got fired.
Well, I don't know how it works for them. Like, if she posted pictures of their wedding, she wouldn't get paid. But if they reposted, then it would reach to them.
Yeah,
but as long as
they got in trouble for doing live TikToks and saying shit.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna get paid. Well, I'm pretty sure you get a percentage. You get like a certain minimal pay, but then whatever you would have got, because there's like 20 something episodes. It's like $1,500 an episode. They would have gotten a pretty fat check at the end. So, but if you violate your NDA,
they get paid once a week when it airs.
Right, you get a $1,500 payment per episode. That's your in.
Yeah,
and it would have been a pretty decent, because, you know, most seasons are only 15, 16 episodes. This one's going to hit like 24, 25. So this would have been a pretty decent check. But I know once you violate it, you get like a minimal pay. I don't know what that amount is. Yeah. But like, say you would have gotten $20,000, you violate your NDA, they might give you $2,500.
Yeah.
And then you're done. You're never going to do anything with them again.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because they could use that money. That would be very helpful for them in this situation, because we know they're going to have two
That's
children.
A lot of money over there. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
In our mind, we're like, oh, 20 grand, you know, but you have to think in their money, in their currency, that's like almost $100,000 probably, right? That's a lot of freaking money. They could have lived off that until that child was ready to start school. Like, that's a lot of money.
They could have built another house.
Well, they could have built another house and then put the grandparents off on their own, and they could have had their own home, and there's so much they could have done. They could have built a farm area, put a farm together, started growing their own food. Like, they could have done so much to be self-sufficient if they would have just kept their mouth shut. Social media is really weird. People want to go on social media and just tell everything.
Yeah.
Like, you have to learn how to.
I know we're getting off subject a little bit, but all the newbies, if you've noticed the past couple of seasons, all the newbies is spilling the beans. They're telling everything.
But also,
they are.
Danielle,
I mean, they're not even caring about the NDA no more.
Danielle was on a freaking rampage about Johan today.
I think it's because she knew what it was going to be in this episode.
Yeah.
But so,
still, I mean, we all wonder, like last time, the tell-all, she said, basically, or he said he wanted a divorce. So we assumed they were done. And then all of a sudden they're on another season, a whole nother season. Yeah. So it's like they start talking divorce. We don't know if they're coming back, all this stuff. But then she goes on Instagram talking about how he's a piece of shit and he's a liar and he's blah, 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 blah. He's abusive and all this stuff. Like, she put it all out there.
I mean, but when you break up or you get divorced, I say this a lot, you rarely have anything positive to say about that person. But when things were going well, you convinced your friends and family and everybody who would listen how great they were.
Right.
Isn't that what she was doing? Isn't that exactly what she was doing? She had her ex there. She's trying to convince everybody, her friends, how great he was. But then when all things fall apart, he's an idiot, he's a liar, he's abusive. And I don't ever want to discredit anyone if that's your truth. But I just think it's really interesting how the story changes when you don't love them anymore.
My truth or not, if it's going to cost me my whole paycheck for that week, I ain't saying shit.
Well, yeah, if you believe that that's the truth and it's going to be seen through their actions, let people figure it out on their own. Like, I don't hate people on your behalf. Like, if you hate someone and you're trying to convince me to hate that person, I'm not going to hate them for you. Like, They have to give me a reason to hate them. Like, if they did something horrible to you, I'm sorry that they did that, but they didn't do that horrible thing to me. So I give everybody, I guess you call it the benefit of a doubt. Yeah. But I'm not going to just say, well, I don't know them, but I hate them because they did something to my friend. No. You know, everybody's actions are individual. And, you know, the way that they reacted to that person could have been in reaction to something I don't know about. Because people don't always tell you the full story. So, I don't know. Her going on there and bashing him, I think it looks bad.
It does.
Like, honestly, I just think it looks really bad. Obviously, if it didn't work out, you don't love that person anymore. But if they were abusive and they were doing these horrible things to you, why did you stay so long? And did you just stay to be on the show? Yeah. Like, it makes me ask even more questions. And I know everybody has a right to tell their story and how they feel and what happened. You know, Britney Spears wrote her book. You know, you get to tell your side no matter how good, bad, ugly, whatever. It's your chance to say it. But yeah. I don't know. When people go online just for the purpose of dragging the person that they were in a relationship with, it's really weird to me. Because it's like, I don't know. I mean, I get they don't have kids or whatever, but it's like, if you had kids with that person, would you still say that to, like, defame the father of your children or the mother of your children, and then your child will grow up and see this one day? You know, it makes me question a lot of things, because social media is it's such an easy way to bash people. Yeah. And I think it says a lot about your individual character when you use it for that. Yeah. You don't always have to paint a negative picture of everybody. You know, just tell the truth and then let people decide on their own how they feel. I feel like that's how it should be.
I agree.
I haven't met Danielle. Oh, wait, you mean Danielle from Danielle and Muhammad. She used to live, she still does. I lived really, really close to her, so we hung out. That was back in Ohio. Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about, who are we talking about? We were really off subject. Well, wait, did we talk about Danielle and Johan?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about Danielle and Johan, because we got the Christmas scene. They were setting up. Actually, it was actually a really good scene, because Johan was going to be dressed as Santa and giving out presents to the kids in the area. It started out very positive. It was going in a beautiful place. And it got sidetracked because she asked Johan for his half of the rent for January. And it was 75,000 pesos. Can anybody really quickly tell me how much that is?
$750.
Wait,
how much?
What?
That's to be $750.
Okay. Oh, $750.
The Google conversion rate.
What is the Google rate?
4,256.43.
No, that's a lie.
That can't be right.
Yeah,
that can't be right because
That's a lie.
I was saying, I was like, there's no way that's right, but that's what
7,500 pesos. I mean, 7,500 pesos is $750.
No, it was 75,000 pesos.
Yeah, she
It's
asked for
$750. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. That would be his yearly.
I thought you said 7,500 pesos.
No, 75,000. Yeah, it's $750.
The number was high for me, but yeah. So this would have been his half of like the rent, utilities, food, whatever. And at this point, he's like, "I'm not giving you any more money. I'm not. I wanted to." And he brought it up. He was like, "You promised me papers to go to the U.S. and I don't have my papers, so I'm not going to help you build this luxurious lifestyle here because this isn't what you promised me." And I kind of agreed with him. He promised her, or she promised him that she was going to take him to the U.S., get him a green card. He was going to be able to work for a living wage. Yeah. That was the promise. And I think a living wage, he would have been more than willing to help out.
Yep.
Because he would have been making way more money. Like, I'm pretty sure in New York, he could have easily gotten a job making 15, 20 something an hour, literally entry level. Like, easy. So he would have been way more accepting of giving her money to help out with the household. But now he's working in his own country, making pennies. And she wants him to pay for a luxurious lifestyle that he never told her that he would be able to live. And he's like, I'm paying rent. I'm paying for cars. I'm paying for rental of cars. I'm paying for all of this stuff to never do better. And I actually agreed with him because I was like, she made a bunch of promises to you. She didn't go through on the promises. And now she's actually using you to pay half of her bills. Because I was like, yeah, you're married. You should help each other out. But it's an uneven playing field. She's working virtually, making a living wage. You're working physically, making a non-living wage. You shouldn't be responsible for half because you're not making anywhere near what she's making. That's what bothered me.
Yeah, but every single time they talk about anything, Johan can be like, the sky is blue. And she's like, because I used all of my money. I paid for it. You've paid for nothing.
Well, yeah, she does say...
Time.
Well, when we go down the list of physical stuff, right? Because she's like, I gave you everything. He doesn't have the car he asked for. They still rent an apartment. And I'm trying to find like physical things that she's done because she's like, I paid for your Zumba classes. And I was like, that's not everything. When someone says I've given you everything, there's nothing else that I can give you. And it's like, I'm not saying that she should have given him anything because I feel like a relationship isn't a give, a take, but she keeps saying that she did. So I was like, prove it to me. If you've given him everything and he's drained you dry and he's this gold digging man that you say he is, what exactly have you given him? Because last time I checked, he's paying your half of your rent. Yeah. That's not a gold digging situation. You know, like she's making it seem like he's using her and bleeding her dry. And I was like, this man is paying half of the bills. Yeah. That is something that a lot of women dream of, right? Like that's a lot of women dream of.
Yeah, but to hear her say he don't pay nothing.
The only thing she's given him is PTSD, trauma, trust issues, heart problems, blood pressure issues. Like, that's all she's given all of us, actually.
Very true.
So it was a month after he took the $160 out of the ATM. They were still together. Everything was going fine. And now it kind of seems like he's giving up the stress that she keeps causing him because he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep giving you money. Because I don't know, I was on the fence at first because I was like, well, you should want to help each other. But then when I realized she's working virtually because she teaches her classes online, she's working with American people who are paying her a living wage. He's working, making pennies. There's no chance that this is a 50-50 financial situation, right? He is not able to contribute what she can contribute. It's not even a situation that's even fair. So I was like, at this point, I actually agree with him. At first, I was like, man, you shouldn't want to be a kept man. You shouldn't want to be taken care of. But I was like, he's probably working 10, 11 hours a day to make like $3 or $4. She's probably working 3 or 4 hours a day to make $200 or $300. It's not fair to split anything down the middle with her. And I think that's where it pissed me off.
Also, it pissed me off because she got mad again and starts yelling at him in English. But when she started yelling at him in English, it confirmed everything Dee Dee said when he starts responding to her when Dee Dee said he can understand, he starts, what do I say thank you for? He started responding to her English yelling. So
Yeah, he did.
I told y'all, he understands.
He understands. Yeah,
but then
because we were wondering why.
She starts crying and doesn't have a single tear. She wipes the corner of her eye, and that's it. Like, where's your tears?
She knows
I can't
what
stand her.
I can't either.
I feel like this relationship has been ending for longer than it's been going good, right? Like, I feel like they've been trying to end it for so long. And like you said, we thought we were done with them when they were on the tell-all, and he said he wanted a divorce. He wanted nothing to do with her. And then, boom, they filmed a whole nother season. Then another season. It's like, just break up, right? Like, at this point, just break up. Y'all don't get along. And it's almost like, reminded me of Manuel and Ashley. They don't get along at all. And then they probably have sex and then they're okay for like a week. That's such a toxic situation to be in, because the problems that you're sleeping away, they're just going to reemerge. They're never going to go away. And like, he finally said it. He's like, I'm not giving you any more money. Like, I'm sick of you asking me for money. I'm sick of you draining me. He was like, you promised me that I could have a better life and you didn't give it to me. So he was like, if you want a life here, it's your responsibility to contribute to that lifestyle, because having your lifestyle you want in the Dominican Republic is almost impossible on the wages that they pay people here.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't want to live in a mud hut, okay? So that's where he was living with his family, where it was like 20 people in the apartment. She wanted a different type of lifestyle, but now all of a sudden it's his responsibility to help her get it. That's not fair.
Yep.
If Johan would say, okay, let's go back and watch the very first time we come on 90 Day Fiance, it's going to show everything she promised him.
Oh, yeah. You mean on Love in Paradise. Yeah, on Love in Paradise.
I mean Love in Paradise. I'm sorry. I said 90 Day Fiance. No, Love in Paradise. I mean, it's hello?
Somebody posted the scene not too long ago, I think on TikTok, of her telling him she was going to bring him to the U.S. and get him a green card. Because, you know, she denied it for a long time.
Yep.
She was like, show me where I told him that I was going to bring him to the U.S.
Go all the way back to the very first season that they were even on TLC. It's everything. She promised him the lifestyle, like an amazing lifestyle. Move to New York, have money, have a good job, have the life he's always wanted.
Yep.
Not only did she promise that, she went to his mom's house, and asked her, what would you rather we do? She was like, would you rather I marry him and we stay here, or we move to New York? And she said, I would want him to move to New York so he could have a better life and help us. And she said, okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's all there. I don't know why she keeps denying it. It's all there. I saw the scene. I watched it when it happened. And then somebody posted on TikTok. They're like, since she has amnesia, they're like, I'm going to put these out here for y'all to go over. Yep. You know, this is exactly what not just him, she told his whole family.
Yep.
So they even got their hopes up too, that he was going to be able to go over and send money back. Yeah. And then she did in her little confessional, she's like, I'm not actually really going to bring him to the U.S., but I'm not going to tell him that until after we get married. And I'm like, see, that situation there, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of like what TJ did with Kimberly. Like, she's not going to like life here, but I'm not going to tell her until it's too late and we're married and she has to deal with it. I don't like that. Give everybody the information they need to make a good decision beforehand. Don't trap people in situations that they don't want to be in. Because I feel like Johan kind of feels like he's trapped. He's in a prison. He doesn't know how to get out of this situation, because he is married to this woman who promised him a better life, and now he's stuck paying half her rent. And it's like, he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to get out of it. He doesn't know how to run away, because she literally invaded his space. She's in his country. He doesn't know how to be released from her chains.
Yeah. TJ should not have waited to tell Kimberly.
Yeah, he should have.
Well, chances, but he also knew how Kimberly reacts to everything. Yeah. So he did it to save himself the bullshit and trauma, and I don't blame him. I think it's funny. Go TJ. I will always like him over her.
But
I
can
think
we
it's
talk
best.
about how she says she don't like to wash dishes?
Yeah.
Because dishes are nasty because people has the spoons and stuff in their mouth and then it goes in the water. Um, can somebody please explain that to me? Does she not cook at home? Does she not have her own dishes to wash? I mean, does she
I,
have some like plastic pots and
Disposable.
pans that we don't know about? I
well,
mean,
I assume I assume she uses a dishwasher maybe, so she
you
doesn't have to touch it.
still
You still have
you
to
still
load
gotta
the
put your hands on it.
Well, yeah, you gotta like rinse it and then put it in. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she, I don't know. I don't know how you would live without using dishes, right? Like I don't know how that works. But yeah, she said that dishes and spoons and the water freaks her out, and I'm like, well, everything is gross. If you want to get technical, everything is gross. Like whenever I clean my bathroom in my house or my kitchen or whatever, like everything's gross. Let's just be real technical.
Yeah.
If it's not visible to the naked eye, it's filthy. So you have to go in there and scrub and find it. So I was like, I get that, and I'm a avid dishwasher user because I like to conserve water.
Yeah.
So I have like all like energy efficient, water efficient appliances and stuff. So it's not necessarily that I think it's gross. But I'm not gonna lie. I particularly don't like washing dishes by hand. It's just something I think.
I don't think any one of us love washing dishes, but if I've got to clean up after my family, it doesn't make me throw up, and it's not so disgusting. Like, they're human beings. They ate just like you did. I mean, it's not like you're in there wiping their ass after they took a shit, it's dishes.
I think it's more of a spoiled brat type thing. I feel like she's more of a spoiled brat, and she just doesn't care about anyone but herself. Like she's like, well, I'll wash my dishes because I'm not gross, or I'll cook for me because I like me. I think she's just more of a self-centered brat, and she just doesn't care about other people, and other people's responsibility of other people is not her responsibility. I think that's how she sees it. She's like, well, I should only be responsible for me and TJ. Everybody else can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like that's how she feels, and which is fine. As an American, there are people who function just fine that way. But don't go to India where they don't function that way and then tell them how they should function. That's disrespectful. Like this is how they live. Their children live in the house with them literally until the parent passes away. They never leave. And it's like all you needed to do.
I think TJ is gonna quickly learn why his dad has slept on the floor for 20 years.
Yeah, he's gonna figure it out really fast, and then he's gonna have a lot of regret. Because I think in my mind, TJ has faith that Kimberly is a fixable, changeable human being, and because he's like, oh, she'll adapt to her duties, and I'm like, you've met this woman, right? Like, because I've never even physically met her, and I know she's not gonna adapt to this. Like, and you know her. She sleeps in your house. You believe that this woman is capable of caring for people other than herself? Like, why? What has she done to give you that inclination? Because that's my question. I was like, because I've never met her, physically been in the same place with her, and I can tell just by seeing what I've seen, she's never gonna clean up after nobody else. Like,
you
at
built
all.
her a house and still complained. Like, instead of
with his own money, he built a whole apartment, and she was pissed off because the baseboards were ugly and the bathroom had a window.
Yeah.
My bathroom has 2 windows. You know what I did? I put some curtains on them.
Yep.
So I can bathe in
Why
because she's like,
would you
now
not want a window in your bathroom? I mean, the bathroom needs to be aired out. What you gonna do? Let them just leave the door open all the time and let it just go through the house? I mean,
oh wait, someone said the bathroom didn't have a door. It wasn't a door that it didn't have.
No, it didn't have a window.
it didn't have a door, but I mean, what?
It had the door, but it didn't have a window.
Oh, okay, yeah. It wasn't anything serious.
The window in the bedroom didn't have curtains.
Oh yeah, she said that the window you buy curtains or blinds, depending on what you want. I prefer blackout curtains in my bedroom because sometimes the sun wakes up before me. So I just grab you some blackout curtains and you're good to go. Like you do not need to tear the whole building down and rebuild it because there's a window. You just buy some damn curtains and call it a day. Like she was like, well, just tear the whole thing down and start over. Like you done put a window in here. Like it's not that serious. You know how many people buy houses that have windows in rooms they don't want. They just put a blackout curtain over it and they move on. You know, they don't take the whole wall down, right? They don't take the whole wall down and rebuild it. She's such an annoying person. Like, and her house needs to be a window in the bathroom and have it open for both. Yeah, I read that. You have to have a window or one of those exhaust fans in the ceiling to prevent the building of mold. And then, because once you get that mold in that bathroom, you have to tear that whole, all of the, what do you call that stuff in the wall? Sheetrock? You have to tear all of it out and redo the whole bathroom, and it's very, very expensive. I've heard someone say they bought a house and they were gonna flip it and they found nothing but mold underneath everything, and they said that they made nothing on that flip because getting that mold out to get that bathroom presentable again was very expensive. So yeah, the bathroom is not a window in the bathroom wasn't a bad issue, but for her everything is an issue. Yeah, she's a brat. She has to have everything her way, the way she wants it, but I did agree with, you know, if you're gonna be rubbing and spraying cow manure around my apartment, tell me ahead of time so I can just not be there. I just would go on a walk.
If she was nice and respectful, she deserves that.
Yep.
I mean, she do. She do.
I brought a whole damn cow in and let the cow shit right there.
That's gross, though, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna lie, it was gross for me. Like, I don't have any pets.
Gross. I'm not saying it's not gross, but am I saying it's deserved? Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
This is karma. This is full karma coming full circle. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is karma. This is what she had coming. You know, when you do something horrible and it seemed like you got away with it, karma knows how to get you, and it came in the form of cow manure in her kitchen. Yeah. And
I thought it was funny that his mom took the same towel that he wiped the manure off the table and was washing the dishes.
If she don't like it, she can wash the dishes herself, but that ain't happening.
Oh man, I was like, just give me a blowtorch.
Oh my gosh.
When I realized that she was wiping the counters with cow manure, I was like, just give me a blowtorch. I'm gonna torch the whole room. Like, we're just gonna start over. We're gonna torch the whole room, and we're gonna start out like, now I can't eat in the whole house. Like, that was too much for me.
Yep.
It was funny to me.
So Sarper is set on having this child, right? And he even talked to his parents about how important it is for him to have a child. So I have a couple of things. So did you notice that when he was discussing this with his parents, they were aware of the extra kid that he didn't want? Because he was like, well, you know, I'll never see him or never speak to him. And I was like, so they're aware that he had this child and just kind of deleted the email and everything. Yep. So is it, I don't know how to ask this. What would you do if your son told you that they had a kid and then they deleted the email and they never like tried to get in touch with the, like, because I felt like the parents were aware and they were kind of encouraging him. They were like, oh, well, if this is what you want, you should have another child. And I was like, is it okay for him to just have another child like the first child didn't happen? Like, how does
you don't want to know what I do to my child?
I would beat my kid's ass.
Well, like, I want to know, like, from a parent standpoint, how would you feel?
I would be pissed off because I raised my kid better than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would definitely be getting me out of jail, George.
Yep.
Because
that's what
I tell my kids all the time, if they do something stupid, I brought them into this world, I'll take them out. I don't care.
See, that's what I was wondering, because it felt like, I mean, I know this was a long time ago. I don't know how long ago he told them maybe this isn't a hot issue for them right now. But they were just like, oh, yeah, you'll never see that kid, so you should just have another kid. And I was like, I don't know if I would encourage them to just have another child, because I feel like the way that they handled the first one, I just disagree with. And I feel like I believe that your actions warrant whether or not you can do something again. Because, like, I feel so.
These parents want a grandkid so bad. Why didn't you step in and before it was too late? First of all. Second of all, you just met his new girlfriend who has a 15-year-old daughter and shipped her off to boarding school. So she's clearly not mother material. Your son's not father material. They're both a piece of shit. Like, come on, you guys don't need to you guys don't need to reproduce.
Yeah, the one
Seriously.
thing that I was also wondering, this might be rude, but I was like, because I was interested in seeing his parents and see how they interacted because they raised him.
Yeah.
So, and but I know my mom explained to me at a young age, like, don't ever, because I was like, oh, well, if they did something bad, it was because they weren't raised right. And my mom was like, no, you have to realize that there are people who raise their children 100% right. And those
Mm-hmm.
children make bad decisions that are completely against how they were raised. So, but I did have like a curiosity of meeting his parents and just getting a vibe from them. And they don't seem like horrible people. So I was like, it could just be that they raised him and
they don't seem like great people.
Well, no, they don't seem like great people because
they're like, yeah, you should have another baby because, we trashed that other one. So let's get a new one.
I wouldn't be surprised because with Shekinah being so against having a child, I wouldn't be surprised if during all these little surgeries she had, if she got her tubes tied.
Yep.
That's why she's so against.
I thought that you had to have like a minimum number of children to do that.
No.
Is that not true? No?
No.
So you can just go and get it done if you want to.
You don't even have to have any children. If that's your decision, if you don't want no children, you can go get your tubes tied.
I didn't know that because I know my sister had it done. I don't know if I'm supposed to be discussing this. That's personal information, actually. We won't talk about that. But I know that they had to have a minimum number of children. Or do you think that's the doctor's preference?
That's probably a doctor's preference, but no, legally, if a woman says she wants her tubes tied, there's nothing a doctor can do.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that. I had no idea. So you know what?
I had a total hysterectomy when I was 29.
Was it medical? Like, did you have to have it done, or did you want it done?
I wanted it done.
Oh, you wanted it done. So it was just your choice, your decision.
Ovarian and uterine cancer is very prominent in my family, and I wasn't taking any. I had my babies. I didn't want to take any chances, so just take it out.
Yeah. So it was like a preventative measure because it was what's the word when it's pre-existing condition in your family or something like that, right? Yeah, I understand. I didn't realize that you could have that. Now that I realize that you could just do it because you want to, she kind of most definitely had it done. Like there's no chance that she did.
So against it, she doesn't want him to find out that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I highly doubt it.
But another angle she could use is if he doesn't know that she had it done, she can say yes to the child. They could try. She just never gets pregnant. Or do you think that he would take her to the doctor and check everything out? Because some people.
He's not that smart.
Well, yeah, I don't think that he's a genius. Like in my opinion,
not him, but his parents would probably be like, "Well, take her to the doctor and see why she hasn't got pregnant yet."
Yeah, that would be my fear because if you're gonna lie, and then he's like, they try for 6 months, nothing. They might end up going to the doctor, and then the doctor is like, her tubes are tied, and then boom, your lie just exploded everywhere. So, because that's why I feel like lying is so risky, right? Because at some point your lie is gonna be figured out. That's why I think it's crazy to me that people base relationships on lies because you just set a time bomb and it's literally ticking. It's only so long that your lie can make it in the light of day until somebody figures it out. So if she did do that, she should just tell him and then the conversation will be over. There's no reason for all that.
He's already saying, if you can't give me a kid, you're out. And then he had to bring up the 2,500 again. Why are you still talking about that with your girlfriend? That is freaking disgusting, first of all. Second of all, you're nagging me for a kid. You probably have 2,400 other ones out there somewhere. Also, what do they do when they have a baby and it comes out normal with normal lips and normal body?
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting because when I saw his parents and they looked like normal people, I was like, so this is what Sarper looked like before all of the craziness went down. Because I was like, they look like completely normal people for their age. They look.
He was on the live yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it today? It was either today or yesterday. I don't know. My days are running together. But it was either yesterday or today. She was on the live saying that Stopper has never had any kind of plastic surgery done. He only had his nose fixed because his nose had got broken.
Bullshit. That's like saying Darcy and Stacey haven't had anything done.
Yeah.
Even Darcy and Stacey are fully transparent. They will tell you, like, they're not even pretending. They'll be like, yeah, we've had this. They don't even hide it. There's no way. Sarper doesn't. Okay, so Sarper, I think everyone online says he looks like a talking wax figure. Like, he doesn't look real.
He looks like that. What the hell's that cartoon with the blue hair? Blue hair.
Danny Phantom?
Jimmy. Is it? Oh my God. What is his name? Now I have to look.
I know who you're talking about, too, because his hair does a little curl.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Is it Danny Phantom? I know who you're talking about. But yeah, I feel like, and another thing that's weird to me is, Johnny Bravo. That's it.
Johnny Bravo.
Oh, Dee Dee, you gotta Google Johnny Bravo. You'll know exactly what we're
I'll
talking
definitely
about.
Google
You'll know exactly what we're talking about. But my thing is, when people do have these surgeries, why do they deny it? Like, if you really wanted to change something about yourself and you own it, you're okay with it, and you go through with it, I feel like you should be proud. You know, kind of like Darcy and Stacey, they're proud. When they have something done, they have the procedure videoed, and they do a promo video, they show it off, they post themselves all the time. Like, be happy with what you've done. If you love the way you look, I think you should love yourself in your skin the way you look. And if you've made changes to make yourself look better, show it off. I feel like, why not?
Hey,
but now,
Tracy, we're going way back, Tracy.
Did you see that Georgie's doing it now?
Doing what?
See that?
Oh yeah, the surgeries. He was calling out his the ones that's done his surgery so far. Yeah,
and he had lip fillers, and he has, as he put it, got snatched.
Oh yeah, that's Darcy. Yeah, that's Darcy and Stacey's term. You get snatched.
But why is Georgie using it? That's not Georgie's.
Well, no,
you can have
surgery.
No, it's not.
I didn't know he. I didn't know he had any surgery, but I will say
had a lot of surgeries according to him. He's been on social media the past couple of days and tagging his surgeons.
Well, when I saw him on the last season of Darcy and Stacey, he looked extremely different. And I think everybody noticed it. He looked 10 years younger. And I was like, what's going on with this guy? Like, he doesn't look like himself. So I figured out.
You need to see
it. Does he look even more different now?
Yeah, now he's got lip fillers and his cheeks are snatched and all that.
Yeah, he did something to his jawbone. She did something. They've done something to the jawbone. He was saying all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and Florian's already started doing all that stuff too. So,
I mean, if that's what makes them happy, I'm happy for them. I just hope that when you've had a lot of surgery done, when you've had enough. That's just my only thing. Like, because, I think a lot of times people have the surgery, they look great. And then they keep going and keep going and keep going, and we see Nikki Exotica, it's just, you look amazing, and then you keep push the
Did you see the picture of her as a man before and up against her now?
No, please send that to me. I haven't seen that.
Before, she looked like Justin. I shit you not. I thought it was a
picture. Send it to
me. Please.
If you send it to
me.
I will find it.
I need to see that.
I had to take a double take. I was like, oh, it's Nikki and Justin. And then I caught it, and it was like before and after. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, she looks like, yeah.
How weird that she ended up wanting to get a guy.
So obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. She wanted to get a guy that looked like her when she was in male form. That's insane. I got to see the picture. Oh, yes. Georgie and Darcy got married on 11/11. It was broken. The news was broken. Portuguese princess, they are married. I think we knew they were going to get married on 11/11. We just didn't know what year. Because Stacey and Florian got married on 11/11. In Connecticut, actually. And so did Darcy and Stacey. They got married in Connecticut. So I was told it wasn't filmed. But I've been lied to before. So if we do see them, but I also know that their show is not in production right now. And it has not been renewed to go back into production. So you know how the Family Chantel got another season to end the chapter? I was told that Darcy and Stacey didn't receive that. So what we got last season is it. As of today, there isn't anything that's going to be produced.
I'm pretty sure Darcy and Stacey will be back because a lot of people like Darcy and Stacey. So,
yep.
But then again, TLC's done got where if we want to see them, they don't bring them back. They're bringing back the ones we don't want to see.
I mean, they might come back on a different network. I do think that there's a market for Darcy and Stacey. They have a lot of fans, so they might come back on a different network. It's very possible. I don't know, but as of right now, I was told Sharp hasn't renewed anything with them, and their season should have aired the same time as the Family Chantel. They usually air at the same time. So it's interesting that they don't even have anything filmed and the Family Chantel is already airing. So the timing is interesting. But I heard when Max purchased Warner Brothers, when they merged, they went in and they ended a lot of the extra shows like David and Annie and Lauren and Alexi and the Family Chantel and Darcy and Stacey. That was all Max's doing. They felt like their budget for those shows was too high and in comparison to revenue. So that's just what I heard. So, all right. So, wait, did we talk about everybody?
Yeah, we didn't get it in Armando or Kraken.
Or Holly and Wayne. Yeah, Kenny and Armando weren't there, and Holly and Wayne weren't there. And next week, Kenny and Armando, it appears they are moving forward with their surrogacy situation, which is interesting. I don't know. I didn't think that they were going to go through with it. So I'm going to see how far they go. And I can't tell if they live in Mexico City. They've been posting a lot, but I can't really tell where they are. They were on a cruise. They were in the UK. I can't really tell where they are. So we're going to see soon enough where they ended up, because I think that, from what I understand, Nuz, it was Kenny's donation.
It's supposed to be, Kenny's,
Kenny's donation, and then they're going to use the surrogate's egg. Because Armando has a daughter, a blood daughter, so this child will be Kenny's blood, but this is everybody's child. But that's how they decided.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to end this one, and then we're going to come back. I have to watch The Family Chantel, so while I'm posting and editing, I'm going to watch The Family Chantel. We're going to come back tomorrow a little earlier, probably somewhere between 8 and 9, and discuss Family Chantel episode 2. I'm kind of excited because Scott's finally gonna make an appearance, and he's been hyping this up, guys, for like 6 or 7 months. Right? So I'm really interested in seeing how he contributed to the final season of the Family Chantel, because I heard he went out with a bang. So we're gonna be back to talk about that. Make sure you're following my co-host Cara and Dee. They're tagged in this video. Follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com. Anywhere you get your podcast, type in The George Mossey Show. Oh, he did more than push, Pedro. I'll put it in there. It was more than push. There's actually, if you watched the show last week, there was a preview of what happened. It was a little more than pushing. It got a little more physical. Yeah. So, we will.
Guys, I sent it to you.
Okay. Good. I need to see that. So we'll be back here tomorrow night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we will talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.